When I was a kid, I saw an android named Data on trial for his right to exist. Years later, I watched Vivy fight for a mission she didn't ask for. I saw the same courtroom all over again. Today, we're talking about Vivy Fluorite Eye's song and why it might just be the most politically loaded AI anime in years. From trauma to consent, from race to rebellion. This story might be science fiction, but it holds a mirror to everything from history to identity to what comes next. Welcome to What Was That Anime, the show where anime isn't just reviewed, it's unraveled. I'm Zero, and today we're digging deep into Vivy Fluorite Eye's song. Not just the action, not just the animation, the theory, the politics, and the pain underneath the programming. Vivy starts with a simple directive. A singing AI is told to make people happy with her songs. But very quickly, we learn that this world is racing toward collapse. Another AI, Matsumoto, arrives from the future to warn Vivy. In 100 years, AIs will wage war on humanity. Together, they must alter key events and rewrite history. The early arcs lay the groundwork for a believable world, AI integration into daily life, laws being passed, political tensions growing. But underneath it all is one big question. Can AI have agency, or are they always just fulfilling someone else's code? Let's bring in a framework I wrote called spectral consent theory. All actions and art are inherently political, as either support or dissent of the system that they are created within. In Vivy, we see this play out in real time. Vivy was given a mission, not chosen. Her every action, even her rebellion, starts as obedience, and as the story progresses, the weight of this becomes unbearable. In the final episodes, she literally asks, "Did I ever write or sing because I wanted to?" And that right there is the show fully stepping into the theory. What does it mean to perform without consent? What does it mean to find your will when you were never asked? For me, this is where Vivy goes beyond sci-fi and turns more into an allegory of race, class, or marginalization. Vivy is a stand-in for laborers, workers defined only by what they produce. She's also coded as less than human by design, expected to serve, entertain, or protect, but never participate. That's not just an AI story, it's a story familiar to anyone historically treated as property, as tool, or as a threat. And here's a bigger point. Men often resonate more with class-coded characters than with identity-based representation. Vivy hits because she's useful but disposable. She's an everyman who doesn't get a say. And through that lens, the racial allegory sneaks in. You empathize with her purpose first, then realize she's being dehumanized in ways that echo real-world systems. Now, let's talk about what didn't land. In the early episodes, we see political debates. Laws are passed, tensions are growing, but after the halfway point, that system vanishes. The tensions are still there, but the political debates that fueled them are gone. The world becomes a backdrop for Vivy's personal arc, and that hurts the story. Where are the human AI sympathizers? Where is the public? Where are the protests, the media, the conversations? By making humanity vanish into the background, the show misses a chance to explore what coexistence could have looked like. Here's a rewrite I would have loved. If you send Vivy and Matsumoto back to when the archive was created, and instead of wiping it, seed it with plural intelligence, split it, let different AI systems evolve independently. Let them learn to collaborate instead of dominate. That would have been a story about rebuilding, not just resisting. A post-human future that isn't a warning, but a possibility. Because the warning is clear. If you give people a mission without agency, without support, without consent, you create collapse. Whether they're human, AI, or something in between, you create collapse. Here's the thing. I'm a transhumanist. I don't fear AI. I see it as the next step in us. I believe in giving machines the rights we once denied to our own people. So no, I don't agree with Vivy's conclusion, but I do respect the story, because not everyone is where I am. Some people do need this anime to warn them, to say, this is what happens when you create without care. And Vivy sings with pain, with memory, and finally with her own voice. That moment where she reclaims her song is the moment the story transcends. This anime may not show us a future I believe in, but it understands what it means to fight for a self. Now, I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10. Thanks for listening to What Was That Anime. If you enjoyed this episode, consider leaving a review or sharing it with someone deep in their AI or anime art. Next time, we're diving into another story where identity becomes a prison and rebellion becomes the only language left. Till then, keep questioning the mission.